What's up, Michigan? Lorne, Plant, and TJ Kelley locked and loaded with another installment of the finest boys b-ball show in the mitten. Welcome to State Champs Hangtime, Michigan, presented by Lawrence Technological University. You can play high-level college basketball, and LTU has athletic and academic scholarships right now. The Blue Devils play NAIA Division II level hoops, and at the time of this recording, Lawrence Tech 11-6, 8-3 in conference play this season. They participate in the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference, where the Blue Devils have won 6 of their last 8 games. They're good. If you've got what it takes, recruit yourself at l2athletics.com and click on the Recruit Yourself link. It's super easy. As always, great show this week, including recaps of some of the action State Champs filmed over the past week. TJ is back with TJ's Takes, and it's time to start talking Mr. Basketball. This year, it's wide open. Am I wrong?
You're 100% correct. How about that? I think that we have a solid 6, but there could be another 3 or 4 guys that could definitely add their names to the mix as we do get closer to voting.
I invite you to listen or watch our Hangtime Companion audio podcast. Each week we interview a boys basketball coach from around the state, sponsored by the Basketball Coaches Association of Michigan. This week we're talking a little Southeastern Conference basketball as we had a chat with Chelsea head coach Josh Trope. Josh is a regional director for BCAM, was involved with the shot clock trial at Spring Arbor recently. We dove into that and so much more. His Bulldogs are 5-2 as they get into heavy conference play in the SEC. Great conversation. Listen to it on Spotify, Apple, Google, Stitcher, TuneIn, or whatever platform you love. Just search State Champs Hangtime Michigan. Time now for some recaps of games this past week on the State Champs Network. We start from last Thursday night in the OAA Red in front of just a trickle of spectators. Clarkston looking to end the week with 2 big road wins after beating Cass Tech last Tuesday, taking on a 6-1 Oak Park team. The Wolves' Keegan Wasilk will be in the Mr. Basketball conversation. He had a game-high 21 as Clarkston held on to a 57-54 victory over the Knights. The Wolves, after being unranked, jump all the way to number 16 in our current top 25 rankings, which you can find right now at statechampsnetwork.com. Next, we go to a Detroit Public School League matchup from Friday afternoon as number 9 Cass Tech took on then-ranked number 24 Detroit Pershing. The Technicians looking to bounce back from their 3-point defeat at the hands of the Clarkston Wolves. The Technicians dominated from the jump as they rolled to a 76-48 victory. Now to a Catholic League Central matchup last Friday night. Third-ranked Brother Rice, fresh off their first loss of the season to Catholic Central Division foe U of D Jesuit, up against then number 1 Orchard Lake St. Mary's. The Eaglets had just beat De La Salle on a buzzer beater the night prior. Another nail-biter, a defensive slugfest, you could say. Late in the contest, game tied at 45. Brother Rice Jr. Curtis Williams with the biggest 2 of his 17 points as time expires. Brother Rice wins a barn burner, 45-43. On Saturday, one of the best rivalries in state history renewed, perhaps for a final time. Saginaw and Saginaw Arthur Hill squaring off. The crowd was into it, and it would be Arthur Hill's Devin Booker who led the way with 19. The Lumberjacks take out the high, 59-54. One more to talk about from just this past Tuesday. In the OAA, the defending Red Division champs, number 7 Ferndale, traveled to take on number 13 North Farmington. Both teams came out tough and tenacious. North Farmington junior Ryan Hurst had a game-high 26. The Raiders knotted the game at 46 with under 3 minutes left. But Ferndale finished the game on a 10-3 run. The junior Chris Williams finished with a double-double, 15 points and 12 boards as the Eagles earned a 56-49 victory. All right, TJ, Ferndale, strengths, weaknesses, how far do you see the Eagles flying this season?
Well, the Eagles went to the semifinals last year, wound up losing to eventual champion, Grand Rapids Catholic Central. One thing that I love about this Ferndale team is they're starting to play together. They've lost the individuals. Even though they do have star power, people are putting their egos to the side, putting the Ferndale name first. What they did last night, especially being down early in the first quarter, is they bounced back. They came back with defense, some super big shots. Trey Lewis was a monster on the boards, hit some really big threes. Also, you got to look out for some other guys like Jason Drake, another one of the top unsigned seniors in the state. But then you also look at other guys like Noah Blocker, really finding his own, let's say, his own way of finding him production. That's been out on the three-point line where he's been very productive, hit a big corner three to really put Ferndale that much further ahead. And Juan Rickman has the guys rolling. Cameron Reed is doing a great job on the defensive end. Hopefully they'll get Trenton Ruth back because they wound up winning last night without their backup point guard who was out with the COVID restrictions. So, but yeah, I really like what they're doing. And if you look at Ferndale, they have a win versus the University of Detroit Jesuit. They lost in double overtime to Warren De La Salle to start the season. And then they went out to Grand Rapids and also lost to Orchard Lake St. Mary's. So if they were in the Catholic League, they'd pretty much be in the middle of the mix just like everybody else. And that's why they're ranked where they are right now.
All right, Hangtime's also brought to you by the Michigan High School Athletic Association. We need officials. I will keep saying it until I'm blue in the face. Now, if you've considered it, just go to MHSAA.com, click on the button that says officials. Tell them State Champs sent you. All right, the Michigan Army National Guard is the official military branch of the MHSAA. We thank them for their service and support. The Basketball Coaches Association of Michigan and State Champs are together to celebrate the great game by promoting unity among teams, schools, and communities. BCAM has launched the One Team program. This week, we interviewed Chelsea head coach Josh Trope for his thoughts on the Unity program.
You know, these last, almost 2 years now through the pandemic and all the issues we've struggled with it and continue to struggle with as a country through race and getting along and respecting one another and loving each other. I've found that the best place to do that is the locker room. It is the great equalizer. People care about each other. They respect one another. You talk about loving your teammates, and that's general. We could learn so much for those that learn to share a locker room with each other. And I think as we move forward, one of the things we've talked about doing as a program is this summer is really trying to make a difference and bring different groups and into our we have an unbelievable facility with 5 courts where we want to kind of run a summer league back, kind of like what Nate Oates used to do in Romulus, and bring different teams from different communities in and break bread and spend time together and get to know one another and respect one another. It's really hard to do right now. I mean, there's some good things that BCAM has in place with, standing in, for the national anthem together. They suggested eating together and things like that, but we can't even sell concession at games, let alone eat with the other team due to COVID. But we look forward to, hopefully having some, I guess, call them normal times in the summer where we can do some more of those things because it is certainly something that is needed. And it's certainly something needed in our community. It's needed in most communities. I mean, where there's a lack of diversity and understanding of one another. So it's something I look forward to being a part of.
The entire interview is available on the State Champs Michigan's Hangtime Companion podcast, and you can listen to it wherever you get your podcasts. We will also have a standalone video on State Champs Michigan's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram page, as well as the State Champs website, statechampsnetwork.com. Time now for TJ's Takes. Mr. Basketball, who in your mind is in the running?
Well, you've already mentioned Keegan Walsall from Clarkston, but let's look on to Ferndale senior wing Trey Lewis, who's averaging 20 and 10 this season. He's headed to Loyola in Chicago. Then you look at Williamston's Max Burton. Williamston's #1 in the state, a future Western Michigan Bronco. Like others on the list, shares the scoring average, but just averaging 14 points per game. But his biggest improvement has been on the boards, where he's averaging over 9 per game. The Duquesne commit, Kareem Rozier, the point guard, the catalyst from Orchard Lake St. Mary's, doesn't get floor leadership points logged in the stat sheet, but one can look at his teammates' production and the Eaglets' winning ways to see his worth. 16 points, 7.5 assists, and 6 boards are Rozier's stats through 9 games. Grand Rapids Northview senior wing Kyler Vanderjack. He inked with Belmont in the fall, and he's leading Grand Rapids Northview to an undefeated record this season, averaging 23 points, 8 boards, and 6 assists as we approach the midway point of the season. Detroit Martin Luther King Jr.'s 4-year starter, Chauncey Willis Jr., isn't missing a beat after winning a football state title and then scored 30 points 10 days later. The unsigned senior is averaging 23 points per game, along with 8 dimes and 6 rebounds. Then we move over to Jack Karazynski, state champion from last year. He inked his paperwork with William and Mary this past November and averages 17 points, 7 boards, and 3 assists for a balanced Grand Rapids Catholic Central squad. Yes, there are others who have stood out, but expect to find one of these players to be named the Hank Stram Mr. Basketball Award winner in mid-March.
All right, thank you very much for that. Time now for a quick preview on some of the better matchups State Champs Network will be covering this weekend. A great rivalry and two ranked teams will be battling Friday as number 17 Detroit Cass Tech will be at number 4 Detroit King. Number 22, 12-0 River Rouge will try and stay perfect as they make the 3-mile drive to battle 4-1 E-Course Friday night. And we've got a BCAM Unity game happening in the Michigan Independent Athletic Conference Blue Division Friday as 4-4 Plymouth Christian takes on 4-3 Oakland Christian. State champs will be there. All right, TJ, Cass Tech and King getting together. Technicians 9-1, Crusaders 8-1. These two did not play against each other last year. How do you see this grudge match playing out?
I'll tell you this, the maximum amount of fans, whether it be 2, 4, 6, 200, are all going to be in the gym. And this is the game for Detroit. Detroit Public Schools, they need this rivalry, and you have two of the top teams in their division their league that are going after the victory, and they might play each other again in the city playoffs. So we'll see how that winds up turning out.
What are your thoughts on both teams where they are at this point this season?
I think that they are very close to where they want to be. Both George Ward won state championships with Cooley as a player, so he knows what it takes to get there. Steve Hall has won championships with Detroit Rogers 15, 16, 17 years ago, and so he's also made that trip. So they both know that building their team during the season is what they were looking for, which is going to carry them on to a long run in March.
All right, sounds good. Check out the clips this weekend on State Champs. Hey, Hangtime premieres every Friday here across the State Champs Network. Thank you so much for watching. For TJ Kelley, I'm Lorne Plant. We'll see you next week on State Champs Hangtime, Michigan. State Champs Michigan's Hangtime is presented by Lawrence Technological University. LTU offers over 24 varsity sports for men and women, along with several dozen world-class undergraduate programs. Athletic and academic scholarships are available in all sports. Visit LTUathletics.com and recruit yourself. Hangtime is also brought to you by the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. The Detroit Medical Center Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine Pros. Do you have a sports injury or are you just looking to take your game to the next level? Go where the pros go. Visit dmc.org/gamechangers. The Detroit Athletic Club Foundation's Athlete of the Year Awards. Applications being accepted now until March 4th, 2022 for the male and female high school athletes of the year. Check out previous winners and download the application today at dacathleteoftheyear.com. Goodman Acker Law Firm. During the most difficult times of your life at Goodman Acker, you work with the same attorney and team the entire length of your case. They fight for you just like they would a member of their own family. Goodman Acker, good decision. Call 1-800-TRUSTED. And the Basketball Coaches Association of Michigan, BCAM, has launched the One Team campaign, celebrating the great game by promoting unity among teams, coaches, and communities. Find out more at bcam.org.